And we are live. Happy Wednesday, right when the song ended. What perfect timing. I planned that. How's everybody doing? Let's see who's here today. We've got Lucas. It moved on me. We got Lucas, ACH, Sweham, Dilmar, Lisa, RS, PF, Hobo, Nuno's here. Nomads is here. How's everybody doing today? I am very excited because after 2 months of assembling Milo, today we are going to finally power it on. Technically we powered it on last week, but that was just to make sure before I put the bottom panel on that it was actually showing up on the network. I didn't want to, this thing is heavy. Now that we've got the X, Y, and Z tower along with the VFD and the inverter mounted, it is not fun to lift. It's a team lift. Aaron helped me get it off the workbench and then back onto the workbench this morning. So we did verify that it created a local Wi-Fi network last week, or a local hotspot, and I did connect it to the network, but we haven't tested anything else. So we're hoping that I wired everything correctly, that the limit switches work, that the steppers work, that the VFD and the inverter was wired correctly. So the game plan today is to take a few minutes. I'll show you guys what I've done, try to remember what I've done since last Wednesday, because I did do quite a bit of the wiring to wrap it all up off stream. And then, yeah, then we're gonna fire it up, go through the initial startup sequence, and then try to we're just going to take a piece of wood, bolt it onto here. Not bolt it, I'll probably use just some double-sided adhesive carpet tape, which works pretty well for some engravings. I've used it before. And then we're gonna attempt to just engrave something to see if everything is working. So I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but it's been, 2 months in the works. It's always a weird thing to me. It's like exciting, but also bittersweet when a build gets to the end. It's been such a journey. Overall, a fairly smooth journey. Definitely a lot of first times for me, just being, it's a CNC mill, not a 3D printer. It's got beefy motors. It's a lot of aluminum. It's a lot of bolts. So, gonna engrave your serial plate. I didn't even think about that. Did the kit come with a serial plate? I don't know. Could that have been something? Could it be inside here in the, oh. No, this isn't a serial plate, is it? No, these are stickers. These are very cool stickers, though. LDO, whoever, I told them this, I think I've told Jason this before, but whoever is doing their, hold on, let me make sure there's no plate. I've got glasses. This is just the end mills. I don't think there came with a piece of aluminum. Oh, Millennium has it. Okay, need to do a video for the serial number. Steve's here. Hi, Steve. So check these out. These are really cool. They did something similar for Voron and the I think like 2.4 Trident, the V0, and then like the mini stealth burner toolhead. But I really like the stickers that they have been including with their kits and the different color schemes. They're just really fun. So I didn't even realize that this was included here. So I've got a handful of ideas for projects on this thing. For one, these little pieces that hold down this, so there's only 4 bolts holding this aluminum plate onto the aluminum extrusions, and it's recommended in the mod for this that these should be aluminum. So this is a fairly simple part. It's basically, I mean, a fairly simple shape with a, I don't know, part protruded that slots into the aluminum. So I want to replace that. There is a slightly bigger mod for this that replaces the entire printed spindle mount with an aluminum one, which I would like to do as well. And then a handful of 3D printer upgrades, 2 different sets of motor mounts, and then Steve and me have been talking about building a Tic Tac for a while, and I haven't seen the parts required for it, but I know Steve mentioned that there's a handful of custom aluminum parts, which we would be cutting out on Milo. So yeah, let's go through things I've done since last week. And I don't remember exactly everything and where we left off. I know I spent quite a bit of time getting this all set up. They'll all fit on this. Nice, yeah. So I definitely mounted everything. I can't remember. You know what? Last week we had started by mounting the corner pieces, these little like 90-degree brackets that are down here. So I did that. I mounted the plate. I mounted the tool setter, or basically your, not bit setter, but it measures your tool length. I don't know what the mod for this one's called. What? It's the, I can't think of the name of. I can't think of the specific name, but it's a tool setter. I did all the wiring. I think I did all the wiring off stream regarding just routing everything. So the setter has a little piece of, or not a little piece, it's a very big piece of Long John. I think that's right. Yeah, the Long John bit setter mod. But a long piece of like 2020 slot cover. The thing that I thought was kind of odd is that this kit came with the most ridiculous amount of slot cover I've ever seen. Like, check this out. I could start a slot cover business with how many pieces, and there's not a lot of places that I could see where you'd actually be able to use this. So I don't know why they included so much. I'm gonna hold on to it because these do work pretty well. They're a lot nicer than the crappy rubber ones I've got. I know Steve, I think from Open Builds, gets a slot cover he likes, but I like this kind a lot more than the printed kind or the cheap stuff I got. So I'm gonna hold on to these, but I don't understand why the kit came with such a wild amount of them, because I think I used them here. Oh, you can't see that. Side view. More is better. Yeah, no, for sure. All the slots on the electronics table. All the slot. Oh! Oh! Are you saying, Steve? Dude, yup. This is why we talk about things. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So, apparently, it's not for routing wires, really. I mean, I used it for routing a couple wires, but it's just to fill in all of the slots in this bottom table. So that way, when you've got chips flying, you're not getting metal shavings all packed in here. That makes a ton of sense. I feel silly now. I'm glad we had this conversation. So I didn't install them, and I won't right now. We're just doing a little bit of wood, but I will absolutely do that. That makes so much sense. And there was no mention of it, but now that you say it, it's one of those things that happens all the time on this stream where somebody says something, I'm like, that seems obvious now. Why didn't I think of that? So, okay, so that's why it comes with so many. It's to cover the slots. Neat. All right, so wiring stuff. There's not a whole lot of info on how to wire, and the LDO documentation doesn't have anything for the 110. So some of the stuff I kind of just had to figure out where it all went. I used a combination of Steve's build video, a couple, like just some of the footage to see kind of how he routed things. I used the LDO 220 documentation to kind of get an idea, and then there was someone in chat last week that had posted some pictures of their 110 build from batch 1. No, maybe it was 220 as well. But somebody posted some photos in the Discord last week that I also looked at, and that was really helpful. So we've got chain routing. I used Steve's. We talked about this last week. This is Steve's cable chain attachment part. The nice thing about this is that there is a slot. So the official one, or like the original one, doesn't have a slot, so you have to feed it through the open cavity before, but Steve slotted it on the back so you can just pop it on after, which is nice, really nice. So yeah, this is kind of how the wiring all looks. I have quite a bit of a, I don't know if I'd call it a rat's nest, but there's quite a bit of wiring hanging out the back. However, there's nothing moving back here, so it really shouldn't be an issue. Hey GPs, how's it going? Sell them. It's not like cleaning out the slots will be a pain without them. Yeah, so I basically zip tied some of the longer ones and tried my best to route things. This was also, I think, a Steve's mod. I can't remember because I printed out so much of Steve's GitHub repository of Milo stuff. It didn't quite work the exact same way he used it, because on the 220 variant, there is needs some bellow covers to cover the rails and ball screws. Yeah, I don't think, is there a mod for that? I don't think there is that I've seen so far. So on the 220 variant, this whole inverter is mounted on a, oh gosh, why words always slip me when I'm streaming. The DIN rail. There's a small DIN rail, and so that lets you pass some wires through. But on this, because it's a completely different mounting system, I couldn't use this internal wire cavity, but I did still use the outside ones to just kind of help me route the cables coming off of the inverter, which is really nice, because since this is AC, some AC wiring going into here, you definitely don't want a bunch of strains. So I kind of zip tied these together, and then this just is a nice strain release. It looks so beefy. Yeah, it's a monster. It blocks his face. It'll save your rails and ball screws from getting full of gunk. Are you saying that there is a mod for this one, Trevor, or no? There's a mod specifically for Milo that adds covers? If there is, I'll definitely look it up, but I haven't seen anything yet, I don't think. Hey, Bearded Bucket. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else? I think I already discussed the feet. I'm pretty sure I discussed the feet. Also, Steve to the rescue. I need a button that, like, you know what? I gotta change an audio thing, so that way when I hit the soundboard, there's one that just says, "Thanks, Steve." These are also Steve's. They are basically a one-to-one of the original ones. The key difference is that the opening or the cavity for the M5, I want to say, M5 threaded inserts is slightly smaller. The stock ones were just, they were too big. I don't know if they were intended for a different outer diameter heat insert or what the deal is, but they do not work with the ones included with the LDO kit. So these were resized by Steve, so just the inner cavity is a bit smaller, so that way when you heat up the insert into the TPU, it's able to bite onto the walls of it a bit more. Steve's GitHub is the first stop when starting a new project. Yup, I agree. DIY market has you covered. Look up print and see. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look then. I'll probably snoop around in the Milo Discord as well to see if anybody has any feedback on them or implemented covers. Hey, Dark Third. Hey, Steve. If I didn't just say it, I think I just said that, but what is Steve Builds GitHub? I need to add that. If you just search Steve Builds GitHub on Google, it'll come up as the first one. And he's got, I believe not the directory, the repository is called Printer Stuff. And it's got just a bunch of awesome stuff. So let's do this. I did, because I've had plenty of electrical issues in the last couple of years. There's a separate, so I had outlets installed in the ceiling when they built this place, and it's on a separate breaker or a separate circuit, and so I have the Milo hooked up to the ceiling circuit. That way, if for some reason it trips anything, it won't kill the stream and all the computers, because that's happened before, and I'd rather not repeat that today. So we'll start off by powering this on first and just running through our startup sequence. What's the plan for tonight today? The plan is we are basically just going to see if I did things correctly. So we're going to power this on right now, let it boot up, and then go through the Millennium OS startup stuff and hope that that works. Yay! We've got fans powering on and the inverter is lit up. Do I need to do... So I've got just a question right away. So I know that, so this is lit up, which is good, as it should be. So I'm under the impression that the RPMs of the spindle are controlled via the controller. So for one, can anyone verify that? And two, there's a there is a knob for speed, which I'm assuming is RPMs, then run, stop, up, down, escape, set. So I'm wondering if I need to like set this to maximum output so that way the controller can take over, or is it a manual? That doesn't make sense. On the back of it, it wouldn't be a manual thing. I've been working 3 hours from home and binge watching your stream and Steve builds. Love the content. Hey, thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that, man. 3 hours from home? You mean, are you on the commute then? Are you watching? Just letting you know, still haven't heard anything from Polymaker. Okay. Do me a favor, Dark, and just shoot me either a DM on Discord or an email. That way I've got it in a place where it's like in chat, I'll forget. And then I'll reach out to them. I'll try to reach out to them this evening, at least get a ticket started. Hey, Benny. Okay, so let's do a few things here. Let's first go under desktop. Typical VFD has local and remote control options. Can use either. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, RS. That is helpful. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't make sense. Like if it was something you had to access regularly, they wouldn't have it on the back like that. I listen to you guys when I go back and watch important stuff at my hotel. Nice. Yeah, I do the same thing actually a lot with Steve's streams. I'll have it on. Well, I usually have it on the TV when I'm working on stuff, but it's more of a listening thing. But then if there's something I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? Then I'll make sure I catch that. Okay, so really quickly here, I'm gonna go and see if I see Milo on the network. And I do, which is good. So we haven't broken anything yet. So let's pull that up. 192.168.105.238. Bam. All right, that is what we want to see. Awesome. We'll do things. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry you haven't heard back from them, but yeah, just reach out to me and I'll get a ticket started and they'll make it right. It must be very expensive buying all these machines. I'm already in debt from woodworking tools, 3D printing, and electronic tools. Yeah, well, luckily the channel is at a point where not all the builds, but a lot of the builds are provided by the vendors, which is very helpful. But when I started off on YouTube, 13, 14 years ago now, the first like 2 or 3 years, a huge part of every paycheck went towards just buying gear and products and all sorts of things. So, and now a lot of that goes into, instead of the machines and stuff, it's like equipment. Like, I mean, the cameras alone at this point are a couple $1,000s. So it's it's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, even the house, like this, the reason why we went with this house, and not the reason, but one of the reasons we went with this house with this whole upstairs room is dedicated space to be able to make videos. So it's a lot. It is definitely a lot. Hey, nice. Why are we building a mill? Because mills are awesome. And I think that having more access to different means of manufacturing at home is a really positive thing. And it really unlocks capabilities of what you can do. I mean, I like that 3D printing is awesome. I love 3D printing, and I certainly would say that's my favorite out of any manufacturing technology. However, 3D printing and 3D printed parts will get you very far, but it still will only get you so far. And so being able to cut custom aluminum parts at home is pretty awesome and should allow us to push things to different levels, like just increase upon the sort of projects that we can work on. Hey, Popaway. Need to build my channel very fast. I spent almost $15,000 for my tools so far. I'm just starting to set up my workshop. Whew. That's a lot. Yeah, I started with what I had, which wasn't a lot. It was a webcam in a dark room, and I built it up over. I mean, I've been making videos for 13 years to get to this point, so I don't know of any cheat code to build up fast. I think that a lot of work and passion and time is really what it takes for most. It's great though. I love seeing your builds. They're so easy to relate to. I appreciate it. I really do. Hey Deanna, thank you for showing the photo of all of the bagels. It's how Linus started out. I learned more from the streams than just looking at manuals. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I've mentioned before that like will get stumped somewhere I get stumped, and seeing how I've gotten past the part of getting stuck is super helpful. You build a mill because life is give and take. Printers build by adding material, mills build by taking it away.
So far. New job doesn't give me the same
Exactly.
time to
Do you
watch
think that
stream,
the home
but is
budget
great
PC
otherwise. Milling T when?
PCD? Do you mean PCB manufacturing? My stream is always laggy, bad Wi-Fi connection in Greece. Hey man, I'm just happy that you stopped by. Man of the Croc, thank you for the $5 donation. Hey, loving the build so far. New job doesn't give me the same time to watch. Oh, bummer. But it's great otherwise. Milling when or just aluminum? Oh, titanium. Oh God. So today we're just gonna see if things are working in some wood. Aluminum is really what I want to dial in and focus on, and is the primary material that we'll be working with, the primary alloy. Eva Crafts, is it Eva or Eva? It looks like Eva, but it might be Eva. Let me know. Do 2 E's in chat if it's Eva, or just leave it as it is if it's Eva. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Cheers. We'll do air horn and cheers to both you, Man of the Croc. PCB. So I know that, I mean, if you're wanting to make PCBs, I would say you can get a much smaller mill. I've seen PCBs made with like the 3018 tiny little mills. And then you've got things like the Lumen pick and place, which is an open source pick and place machine, which is pretty freaking awesome. If you haven't seen that, I recommend taking a look at it. It uses the combination of printed parts and extrusions and custom electronics, but it's very, very cool. Oh, Iva. It's Iva. Is that right? Iva? Thank you. Sorry, I was off. Okay, so let's really quickly, before we go through this, just check in here. Milo assembly manual pre-flight checks. Axis movements are based on relative spindle movements and not the movement of the work table. This may be confusing to users, but to simply possibly create a diagram based on the movement instead. Okay, so moving to the right is plus. Moving to the left is minus. Forward is plus, and towards you or towards the front is minus. This may simply use this as a reference to the axis direction. For z-axis, the spindle should move up. Okay, so up for z in a positive direction and down for z minus. That makes sense. Ensure that all your end stops are working. Man, so we're just in it. We're just full blown in it. Okay. You should try a machine magnesium. No, that's fun. I don't. Oh, you should try 2 machine magnesium. Gosh. Shep has a short. Yeah. Chuck. Yeah. Has a farm bot when I tweeted at them, just saying I really like your underglow. They posted. Oh, it is Eva. Okay, Eva. I'll think of Wally. Perfect. Eva. Easy. Yeah, they posted a cool photo the other day on Twitter of like this custom garden bed with an underglow, and it looked awesome. Hey Pat. But yeah, Chep's got a background in. Oh, you saw, nice. Chep's got a background in electronic design, and it's super freaking cool. I know he's been wanting to implement that more in his channel for a long time. Nice! Thank you for tuning in from your vacation in Greece and for the gifted memberships. Let's get Hadougan. Definitely Hadougans for nice. Thank you. I just put on Wally for the first time, or I think Aaron might have watched it, but I put it on for the first time myself with Jackson the other day. So, okay, so it looks like we're gonna check movement, which makes sense, check end stops, and then home, one axis at a time. But we do have this interface here. The wizard will take you through the configuration process. You can run the wizard. So let's just go through this. I'm gonna have my hand ready to hit the kill switch anytime if needed. No settings will be saved or overwritten until the configuration wizard has been completed. Fantastic. You can cancel the configuration wizard to finish configuring RepRap firmware, but you must complete it before trying to use Millennium OS itself. Okay. You may need to use small manual movements using this interface during the configuration process. Please make sure the jog button distances are set appropriately before starting. Okay, so it's letting you know, like, hey man, don't jog like crazy. Like, make sure you don't have plus 100 in one direction, 100 mil. Follow all instructions to the letter, and if you're unsure with any step, please ask for help on our Discord. Cool. Would you like to enable tutorial mode? Yes, I absolutely would for now. Until I feel comfortable. Would you like to enable... Wait. Did I hit no? Shoot, wait. Did I hit the wrong button? I don't actually... I think I did. If I did, I'm just gonna kill this and restart it. I'm gonna restart it. I'm just gonna restart it. I think I goofed. I got excited. Let me turn it off. I'm pretty sure I hit I don't want beginner mode. All right, rebooting. We're off to a good start. Gotta keep my cool here. I don't know if I hit the wrong button, but I don't see why it would have asked me. Here we go. Millennium OS. Great. Okay. Okay, here we go. Would you like to enable tutorial mode? Yes. Okay, I don't think I hit the wrong button. Would you like to enable expert mode? Disable some confirmation checks. No, I'm not an expert at this point. Okay, I don't think I hit the wrong button. I did it right. No, we're definitely beginners here. I would rather go through this from like complete novice and then turn it off when I feel like, okay, I've got the workflow down. You'll need to configure a spindle and any optional components in RepRap firmware before continuing. Wait, before continuing. Press OK to continue. Okay, I'm not sure if I should be hitting cancel and going through things manually. What do we think? Note, you'll need to configure a spindle and any optional components in RepRap firmware before continuing. Press OK to continue. So I'm thinking we hit cancel. Press OK. Spindle is configured. Okay. Spindle 0 is configured. Yeah, that sounds very confusing. I don't know what the RPM limits are of this spindle. Does LDO Milo V1.5 spindle. It's printed parts guide. I don't know what the RPM range is of this spindle. Let's see if, I know Fabrico's using the same spindle, so let's see if it says 20-something thousand. Milo. It looks like it's at 1 point, okay, here we go. So 1.5 kilowatt. I don't know what the heck the... Hmm. $60,000 to $24,000. LDO Milo V1.5 spindle RPMs. Matter Hackers says 10,000 to 24,000. Up to 24,000. Okay. Maybe we'll just leave it as is. It seems like 24,000 is the... Never dip below 12,000 or it won't properly cool itself. Interesting then. Should I make the range Should I make the range higher than that then? It does look to me like I probably need to configure stuff before doing this. I've been inclined to think the defaults are applicable to default config, but I have no experience, so. I'm assuming I can change the spindle RPM range after. Let's do this. Let's open up Notepad. All right, so we've got default Millennium OS rep route firmware config 60 to 24k RPM. Is this correct? Should bottom limit be raised? I'm just gonna put together questions that way I can. If I have these questions, then I'm sure somebody else will at some point. So we'll say yes. We need to start the spindle and accelerate to its max RPM to measure how long it takes. Okay. Hold on, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Let me tighten the nut on this thing. Not even Notepad++. I don't even know if I have. Do I have Notepad++ installed in here? Did you see it? Notepad. I do have Notepad++. I think I have it installed because I remember on the old Octoprint, settings or config, it said like, don't use Notepad++, or no, don't use Notepad because it can screw up the formatting or something like that. But I don't think I ever actually had issues with it. Gotta go have fun all. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man of the croc. I appreciate it, man. Okay, so that is not the right size. That is the right size. Just gonna tighten this nut. Oh shit. That's scary. All right. I don't think I have a collet in here, so it's not tightening up against anything, but I feel like we should be running out of threads here. Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, that's plenty tight. I don't overdo it. Okay. So let's see if this works. Same is true if you're editing a clip or config though. I would think most of us are editing that through the printer UI instead. Yeah, I pretty much always do. See these glasses? It came with some glasses. I doubt they'll fit over my glasses. It's always my issue. Well, these are 3M safety eyewear. Nice. Adjustable distance. I like it. Will it fit over my glasses? Not really. Not really. How do I look? Everything's a little bit blurry. Yeah. Hey pal. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. I will be ready to hit a kill switch. Spindle range going. When ready, click OK to start the spindle. When it's no longer accelerating, click OK on the next screen. Okay. Sick. I guess you should be okay for a dry run. Hey, Thomas. Extra safe. Make sure up all the safety screens that goes on. Yeah, that you can barely hear it. Oh man, I wish I can go back. We'll turn it on later. It was not super quiet, that's for sure. It's the dang it is the dang noise filter that's on the mic. So that was up to 24,000 RPMs. You can barely hear it. Can confirm it spins. Yay! Yeah, Loctite is on just about everything, at least metal on metal contacts. Absolutely. So give it extra ramp up time to prevent premature run-in and crashes. Give it extra ramp up timing. Gotcha. You mean to make sure it's actually hit it's like the RPM it's trying to reach? Yeah, it should have. It should have gone through the whole range. So, okay, we now need to choose a Dayton tool, which can be a metal dowel, a gauge pin, or a flat-tipped end mill. Okay, I think that this kit came with. I want to say it came with a little metal dowel pin. It did. I don't know that we actually have a collet that can accept this. This thing is huge. Looks like it's 10 mil. Yeah, so there's two 10 millimeter pins that are incredibly oily. But what I don't know is how this will fit inside. It also came with some square end mills. So I think it came with a square end mill. This is yeah. So I'm wondering if we just use that instead, unless somebody knows how I can fit. Let me see here. This is a large. I remember my first course in simulating clouds. The tool straight into the bed. Thankfully, the teacher was easygoing. On the shape Poco, I goofed on the first run and had it plunge right through the bit setter, right into aluminum. It was terrifying. Nice machine manual I'm putting together. Nice. Didn't get much time on it without an enclosure. I can understand that. It's going to be interesting for me. It's going to be going into the garage after today, so I have to find a nice spot for it. But I epoxied the floors before we moved in, which means that metal shadings will be nearly impossible to see on how loud and speckled the floor is. So it's going to be interesting. I have to figure out something as well. Make sure to push the collet into the lock nut and make sure it clicks. Okay, make sure to push the collet into the lock nut and make sure it clicks, then install the tool. 10 mil dowel without a collet doesn't make a lot of sense. I would go with a 6 millimeter end mill. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's do. You said 6 mil, that's the little one, or no? Yeah, this is the 6 by 12. Okay, 6 by 12 end mill, we'll do that. Let's loosen this, and then I don't know. Looks like we have a couple size collets. I think one's for maybe. So one's a 3 mil, and one's a 6 mil. Okay, so yeah, 6 mil, great. Let's loosen. Let's change our tool really quick here. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy I wired the VFD. I think, Thomas, were you the one that popped into the stream last week and then basically gave me the link or info that showed me how to wire this up, like through someone else's build guide? Clearly that worked correctly. And I think it was spinning clockwise, so it seems like the orientation was correct. What software to make the carb files? So I am going to right now use Fusion. I'm not a Fusion person. I haven't used Fusion. I think I told Steven like years. Which is not far from accurate. But the post processor that they had or recommended is in Fusion, and I got shit. What did I trip on? And I got that set up. So Fusion for now, but it probably depends on what I'm using. Lightburn, who I work for, is releasing a piece of software called MillMage, which I have gotten to play around with a bit, not as much as I would have liked, but it's not a 3D cam software, it's 2D, but it should be. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that quite a bit. One, I want to stress test it, and two, a lot of what I'm doing will be fine with 2D or 2.5D, I guess, operations. So I just dropped the link. Others did the work. Glad it worked. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that though, because I was definitely stumped last week, and it seems like that worked. I need to still reach out to LDO about that. At the very least, they need to reference that build thread or build log in their docs. Yeah, there is no, oh no, there's a call it. So is there any trick on how to get it out? That is not going out with my hand. Can use my Nipix to try to grip and pull it out. Almost everything we do can be done in that. Nice, yeah. Can I grip and pull? Jeez, okay, yeah, that worked. The trick is to click it in the nut before pushing it up there. All right, so that worked. You said click it into the nut, so we will do that. There we go. It's in the nut, and then we're gonna use this guy. Zoom out a little bit. So this is what we're gonna use instead of that pin. It looks like the pin at 10 millimeters, you need a larger collet. It doesn't look like they included it. No, this is also smaller. So we're gonna use this guy instead. I'll try putting something similar in diameter in it and roll it out. Gotcha. You're saying for future reference, Steve? Okay, here we go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, one more. Nope. Allergies the last 24 hours have been rough again. We haven't had a lot of wind, but it is super hot and things are drying out. It's like, I think the next 7-day forecast, the high doesn't get below 103. It's wild. Why are we not fitting? There we go. You can, yeah, I couldn't type it out fast enough before you were done. Okay. So that is in. I'm assuming we're probably going to be trying to find the Long John bit setter. 95 here. We just had 5 days over 100 degrees weather here in Oregon. Yeah, it's been 100 degrees the last few days as well. And I keep thinking we're going to catch a break, but it's like, I mean, okay, I lied. It gets down to 101, but this is our forecast. Today it's 107 here, and then 105, 106, 105, 101, 101. Like the only time I've gone outside is to water the plants at night, basically. Like it blows. It's so freaking hot. And our days are so long here that the peak isn't until like, I don't know, 6:30 at night. Like if you look, let's see, we hit 105 at 5 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. it's still 103 out. Like it's just nuts. Hey, Jose. Okay, we did that. Oh crap, was I not supposed to do it? You'll be asked to install this in the spindle when necessary for manual probes. With the touch probe. Oh, with the touch probe disabled. Is there an optional touch probe upgrade for this? Yeah, there is. I know there is. What am I saying? Steve has it. For some reason I was picturing the typical, like the Shapeoko. It uses a little aluminum block, but it's the one that Steve's got's completely different. It's like more of a probe that goes into the spindle. Cool. With the touch probe feature enabled, the datum tool will be used to take the initial measurements that the touch probe requires to calculate offsets correctly. Once the datum tool has been configured, you must use the same tool in probing workpieces manually, or the results will not be accurate. Cool. Please enter the radius of the tool in millimeters. Okay, so it was 6 millimeters. So it should be 3, which is already entered there. The touch probe method is much easier. I didn't do the manual method, so you're on your own. Perfect. I figured I'm gonna end up getting, I need to get a few things for this. The touch probe is one of them, the vise is another one, and then probably a few other things. But for now, like with wood pieces, similar to the shape, well, the Shipoko I am using a auto Z offset, but I guess on the Nomad that I've used, I just typically use a piece of like A4 paper, and that's how I find the the stock height. Did I eat? I had a bowl of cereal earlier, some O's. Okay, so we got a 3 millimeter radius. Would you like to enable the tool setter feature? Absolutely. Would you like to enable the touch probe? I'm gonna go with no for now. I'm assuming I can enable that later. We now need to enter a back off distance for protected moves. This is the distance we initially move when a touch probe or tool setter is activated to deactivate it. Okay. I have no idea. So I'm assuming this is like when it hits the switch, how far to back off before it probes again. 0.5 millimeter seems like not a lot of distance, especially not for this. I would think we'd probably want more like a few millimeters, no? Like 5 millimeters? I heard on the Nomad. Oh, yeah, no, the Carbide Nomad. It's a small little desktop CNC. Yeah, it's set to 0.5 millimeter by default. That seems very small. I assume this is something I could change later. I would think that if I hit a switch, I'd want it to back off at least like 5 millimeters before I'm in your shop carving your carbides. What do we think? I'd love some feedback on this if anyone's got any. I'm thinking 5 millimeters seems like a better one. Please enter the back off distance for protected moves. This doesn't seem like a retract travel distance. It seems like, because I'm assuming, because it was talking about the probe and the tool setter, that it's once it's triggered that, how far to back off before it does it again. Trevor says 2 mil. We have 2 millimeters. That's one thing. I'll give it a minute just to see what we think. Yeah, 0.5 millimeter just seems really small. I like to leave things default unless I know better. Defaults worked okay. Okay, well, I'll do that then. We'll just leave it default. It seems very small, but... We now need to detect your tool setter. Make sure it is connected to the machine. When press, and then manually activate your tool setter. Okay. Press OK. Waiting for tool setter activation. So... Whoop. I don't know if that worked. Sure doesn't seem like it worked. Console. Doesn't appear. Not detected. Please make sure that your tool setter is configured correctly in RepRap firmware. So what I don't know is whether the issue is that I need to add more washers so that the screw is closer, or whether it's a pinout thing. That I don't know. Did you set the tool setter? I haven't set anything in RepRap firmware. We jumped right in and then went straight into Millennium OS. I have not tested it. Should I reset this and back out of this? That's the question I had too, was that I haven't configured anything yet. The wording was confusing as to whether I should cancel the Millennium OS startup wizard and just go into RepRap firmware, or whether I should go through the Millennium OS startup wizard. But no, I haven't tested anything. All I've done is start the Millennium OS startup wizard. It checked the, you could probe the connector with a multimeter. You should see the end stop. All right, I'm gonna, here, let's see, can I refresh it? What happens if I refresh it? Still sensor not detected. Okay, so let's go, where is it under? System? Dashboard. Sensors, no. MCU, Z probes, 0. Wait, would it be a Z probe though? Tool temp, chamber, spindle RPM. Okay, let's go. Pre-flight, check backlash, tram, steps for homing check, and stop query. To do this, press each end stop individually, enter M199, hold the end stop closed if it does not return as triggered. Is there not a visual console? Okay, so let's just check. Let me see here. So this is, I'm holding X now. So X should say X at min stop, great. So X is working. Y is in the front. Y at max stop. Okay, so should be right behind your picture. Hold on, let me turn off my... Here? Or I'm not seeing it. The other thing that I'm confused about, so I hit the switch for Y under console, and it says Y is at max stop, but this shows that going all the way forward is Y at min stop. So that seems like the logic is inverted, or like the location of that's inverted. Z probes, if it triggers, it goes from 0 to 9. Oh, okay, so it's Z probes for that one. So let's see. Okay, so it's not detecting that either. So we got limit switch issues, it seems like. Yeah, the confusing thing Bearded Bucket, is when you opened it up, the Millennium OS like wizard started right up, and so it seems like that would be the first thing you'd want to do, but it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. So axis movements are based on relative spindle movements. So can I move? To do this, press if it does not trigger, then check your wiring, your end stop setup and config. Okay, so as of right now, let's go through this thing in order. Let me move this over here. And I go M119, so X should say, based off of this, X is homing at min, which I think is correct. X at min stop. Yeah, so that's right. So Y is inverted, and that's under, how do you adjust it? It's under config.g. Configure optional. Okay, so it looks like there's a specific file called nstops. Nstops. Oh, this is for emergency stop. Continue with configuration. Configure optional software. We're stuck configure. config.g. Man, it would help if I knew. It would help if I knew this firmware. Config general settings is under general. So we have general. And stuff should be okay. I'm looking for the limit switch is in the wrong location though. Like it says, if I go M119 while I'm holding down Y, that should be Y min based off of the image under pre-flight. Like it's here, so that's Y min. But when I go M119, it says Y is at max stop. So I do need to figure out how to swap the location. Yeah, I see that. Touch probe, touch probe. Is it limits.g? But toolsetter.g is, I mean, we can look at that, I suppose. But that's not the... Unfiltered switch. Input pin. I think what I'd like to do is, for the limit switch, I think what I'd like to do is take it off. So it says PB_11. LDO. Curious to see if it says the pinout on printed pipes, wiring guide. Yeah, I installed it. Should be the latest. Yep. Tool setter. I'm just curious, does anyone know if LDO has a pinout for this? Zmax. Okay, let's see then. Let's check this out. So this is going to be, if I go under general, machine specific, fly CDY v3. So let's see if we go under here, and we go under here. Okay. So I'm just trying to see if I can verify that we've got the right pin set before we do anything else. So this should be the pinout. And if I go under LDO's docs and I go under tool setter, no, here we go, tool setter. It looks like it is, it's tough to see by this photo, but it looks like it's the second port, maybe? So if we go here, and we've got laser here. Is it Z max or Z min? I can't tell. So that's, all right, here we go. So it's min. So I think it's Z max. I'm almost positive it's Z max. And if we go here, Z max is PB11. So let's go under general, nope. System. What was it under? It was under tool setter. No, it says PB11. That's what I said, right? A second ago? Oh, no. Yeah, PB11 seems right. So, PB11 seems right. I don't know. So I think what I'll do next then is take this off. Because the instructions for it had you basically install a certain amount of shims. Let's see, we go here, oops, and we go under tool setter. You can add M4 washers between the screw and the bolt in case the bolt cannot trigger the micro switch. So I'm going to assume that's probably what it is I need to add some washers. So let's take this off. I'm gonna leave it on. I don't think there's an issue with that while I do this. Check constant. I did install one shim only. It just works. So I stayed with it. Oh, where's my multimeter? Okay. Nice if I had another hand. Whoa. I'm not getting continuity. What? I'm trying to think, what would it... No point checking pins or making adjustments before confirming it works or it's not first. On this one, because it's a 3-pin, would it be switching ground or signal? So I've got ground and signal, continuity. Okay. Wait. That's weird. don't feel like I'm getting continuity across any of it now. I mean, unless the board is faulty, I don't see how it could have killed it. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, I don't know that this thing's working. It doesn't seem like it is. I'm not getting continuity across anything now. Button has to be pressed. It has not. It could be a bad switch. So nothing there. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Well, that's a bummer. The not getting any signal from the switch. It basically didn't detect it, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting continuity across the pins, pressed or not pressed. I still think we can continue without it. I'll just have to get a replacement in. It's just a single, I mean, we're just running a single tool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's working. It's an optical switch, so there shouldn't be continuity. I thought that it was, I thought it was an optical and a mechanical switch is what I was told, that it kind of had both. On one of my switches, it had a cold solder joint in the micro switch. I touched up PCB and fixed it. The soldering job looks fine on the pins. Okay, let me plug it back in and just see. Let's see if we can get it to trigger. Okay, let me undo the screws. If for some reason it doesn't end up seeming like it's gonna work, we'll move forward without the switch for now. Also, hi Ted. You know what? I think I am gonna have to unplug it again. I've been absent for a bit. Yeah. Nice to see you. How is, we were just talking about weather here. How is it in Oregon right now? It's like crazy hot here. Okay. Unplugging again. Okay, so I'm gonna try adding another washer in here and seeing if that does it. Only 82 right now. Wow. Yeah, we've got it's a lot hotter than that here. Okay, so we are gonna try adding a second one of these little spacers. I know that I had a difficult time getting that brass piece pushed in, so it's possible that my brass piece is not as far down as it should be. So hopefully by adding one or maybe two more of these if necessary. It does not look like the right size. What size do I need? M4. Yeah, M4 washers. M5. M3. I'm pretty sure I put all of the Long John parts in the same bag here. M5. M4. Oh, come on. I am not seeing M4 washers, so that's fine. Do I have other M4 washers I could use? I've got M4. Yeah, I got M4 washers. Okay, these are way too fat. It has to be. God. Oh man. I imagine I could use a longer. Nope, that wouldn't really matter, would it? Well, if I bottom it out, I could use a longer bolt. Try the bare switch to trigger it and wrap up firmware without the bolt. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. All right, connection lost. Attempting to reconnect. Interesting. Do you have voltage selector jumper on the fly? Do you have the voltage selector jumper on the fly CDY? I think so. I should, yeah. I followed all of the. Let me reboot. I followed all of the jumper. Like I went through the settings and double checked that all the jumpers were in the right places. So I believe so, yeah. Okay, let's try to reboot. Oh, we are not booting, which isn't great. Oh, yeah. Well, things were looking good. Now, not so much. E-stop shouldn't be engaged. We've got power. I see the inverter lit up. I hope not. I don't know. Have you turned it on and off again? I did do that. Now this feels like a legit project. I feel like home. I haven't smelt anything as far as like fried board. God, I don't have the tilt mod fully on here either, so I don't know how it's gonna be difficult to look at the controller, but I don't really know what else to do other than see that we've got power to the board still. Can you show us electronics? Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm just trying to think about what's the optimal way to do this. If I lean it back, I've got Steve's tilt tilt mod on, but I'm just also realizing that if I tilt it backwards, it's going to be putting all the pressure on the power cable. Okay, 2 minutes. Can you get the door? I can. Here, I'll open the door right now, hun. Door's cracked. Tilt it like Steve. How does Steve... I'm trying to think, because I've got his little tilt mod in the back, but I don't see how I can do this without unplugging the power cable. I'll unplug the power cable for a sec. I think Steve tilts it directly back, right? I got the door. I did get the door. I just don't have the other thing, but it seems like it sits, as long as I don't break the inverter. The inverter's taking a lot of weight right now, which I don't love, but. Hey, Viking. Hi. Thank you very much. Yummy. Hi, son. All right, Jack's here for a sec. Let me. Woo! Jack attack. Well, things were looking good, and now they're not looking so good. Yeah, the spindle turned on, but then one of the switches didn't work, and now the board doesn't seem like it's working, so might be a short stream. I guess I'm kind of blocking the way, aren't I? Does she mean outside door? No, just the top of the stairs. Hi, Jack. He's like, what's going on, Dad?
So you got French toast and apples. You had French toast and bacon.
Nice. Sorry. Oh. Steve does, yeah, I use the hand wheel through the X all the way to right and turn it on its side. Okay, I love you too. Thank you. I'll inhale this in a sec. All right, electronics. If it's a short stream, that's funny. I guess this probably isn't the camera I want to be adjusting. I have a bad feeling about the electronics. The fact that it's not booting anymore, I don't have a good feeling about that. So let's see. You guys can't see that. I'm gonna have to figure out somehow how to angle this where I can get power to it. I'm just curious to see what the board looks like. E-stop pressed. No, e-stop is not pressed. Confirmed, not pressed. I don't know why I'm setting this up so nicely, because I've got to get power. I've got to get power down here. So I'm gonna have to like sideways angle this, like let's see, maybe if I go like this. I'm gonna try to move this so I can angle it. I did turn it. You can't. I am turning it. Oops. Yeah, I like triple checked the jumpers when I installed them. Oh, yum, this is French toast. I didn't realize that. It's like one of my favorites. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to tilt this on its like kind of a diagonal angle like this. Don't break anything, please. Doesn't seem super safe. I don't love that at all. I mean, this will work. I don't love this. But for the sake of just checking to see what the board does, I think I can leave it like this for a minute. Let's see. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I do see lights there, but I cannot remember if there were other lights before or not. Three points of contact is good. Now hopefully nothing moves. Yeah, it's actually, oh yeah, it is 3 points of contact. I was like, it's actually only 2. No, it is 3. Yeah, just barely. I haven't had French toast in ages, so jealous. Yeah, French toast is like my favorite. I don't know based off the LEDs if this means anything or not. But the board is getting power. Perhaps Wi-Fi went back in access point mode. I can check that. Is there a light flashing near the Wi-Fi module? Wi-Fi module is where? Wi-Fi module is there. No, there's no light flashing near the Wi-Fi module. The only lights on the board are 2 LEDs where the power is coming in. That is it. So let's see if I go under settings, Wi-Fi. Now there's no Milo hotspot, so it definitely didn't go back into that mode. Still nothing showing up on the network. I'll check. Let's see. Let me check on my router to see if there's a Milo on there. Negative. Nope, no Milo. So you don't have 5 volts. and 3 and 3.1. Undo your tool setter. The tool setter is, no, it's not unplugged. You're right. Okay, I unplugged the tool setter. For Wi-Fi, you need the 5-volt LED to show up. Okay, I removed the tool setter, put the switch off, switch is back on. Still just see the 2 LEDs. Is there a fuse? I only see the primary fuse, which I'm assuming is probably fine. I guess I could check that fuse, but yeah, I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing anything. But I would think if that fuse is busted, then we wouldn't be getting 24 volts to it either. The one on the bottom reads power, right? Yeah. Oh, you're saying there's I don't see any silk screen. Let's see if we go under here. Yeah. So we've got, yeah, you're okay. So here it is. We've got power in 12 volts and then no 5 volts or 3 volts. So that could have been, no, I'd have had, do you need the SD card inserted? SD card is inserted. Can you use Millennium OS over USB? Yeah, let's kill the power to this really quickly. The fuse is between the power and the bed on the board. But I would think that, again, if it was that fuse, well, let me give it a second, make sure there's no power into anything. If it was that fuse, I would think we also wouldn't have 24 volts showing. Not in the funnest place to get to. I need to swap over my merch soon. That's right. What's the sunset date of Stream Elements merch? Zombie, do you know? Yeah, it looks like there's just the one single fuse. There we go. Fuse looks fine to me. Oop. Oop. Fuse seems fine to me. You won't be able to, the 3.3 volts that runs the MCU is deprived from the 5-volt buck converter. Gotcha. So there's nothing. So we want to hook up USB-C. Let's see, do I have an extension? I think this is an extension cable. It is. USB-C will bypass the 5-volt requirements. Okay. Well, that's just swell. You can't actually get to the USB-C port without removing the board. So, oh, I guess that's next step. If the board is dead, we have to remove it anyway. So, but you won't be able to plug it in while installed. Yeah, I just saw that. Okay, and we get this off. You can try unplugging sensors and see if one is shorted. Yeah, let's see. The tool setter was the one that was causing the issue, so let's unplug tool setter. But I'm gonna plug in USB-C real quick. Okay, so we've got Wi-Fi. With USB-C, we've got Wi-Fi, and we've got 3 volts and 5 volts. So I'm wondering if yeah, we've got, you can see it. We've got, we can kind of see it. Bottom one being the top one in this orientation. Yeah. So we've got the Wi-Fi flashing. Okay, so let's unplug this. Let's plug the tool setter in. The tool setter is not actually plugged in. This is just the tool setter wires. So I don't see how that could be the issue, but no, that's working. So hold on. I've got give me like 2 seconds here. Right? There's this French toast. I gotta have a bite of it before it's cold. Yum. Okay, so let's undo this and let's check to see. So yeah, if the 24 volt, or if the power supply directly with this doesn't show up those lights, then I'm assuming it's the same thing. that the buck converter is blown. So let's see, side, switch. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, we're back to not having it. Is the wiring to the breakout board okay? Looks like one is still in reverse. Yeah, check that. It should be. So I'm curious what the move is. I'm thinking I probably need to reach out to LDO and see if I can get a replacement board, and then probably a replacement long john bit setter, right? Just to be on the safe side. Is the power supply giving 24 volts while you're having it flip? Chuck the multimeter on it. Okay. Where did I put the multimeter? Here it is. Voltage, not AC, DC. Oh, yeah, it's still on. Yeah, 24 volts. We've got 24. So yeah, it sounds like I'll reach out to LDO and see if I can get out a replacement main controller, and then just a replacement one of the long john PCBs. I would still try to unplug all the end stops just in case. Okay, I can do that. What is this one? This is not, this is the VFD speed control. This is the tool setter. This is Z-Min. And this one is, it should be Y-Min, or oops, shit, I didn't mean to unplug that one. I goofed on that. Okay, so all limit switches are unplugged. Is the secondary board? Yeah, secondary board is for the spindle. The 5-volt rail is off. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, same thing. 24 in power. A failed stepper driver could do it as well. Go ahead and undo the VFD speed control too. Okay. Should I undo? I mean, I can basically undo everything. Let's undo the speed control. Should I pull the stepper drivers just to see if that changes it? I mean, we're at the point now. Is there a jumper for 24 volts or USB power? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd unplug everything. Thank you, Lisa. She says, we appreciate the fact that Daniel takes us along on these rides so we don't feel alone when stuff goes south with our project. Yeah, it pretty much the reason why we started this channel was to show that, like, things often don't go correctly, and it's sort of just the name of it, the name of the game. But as long as you try not to get too frustrated, eventually things usually work out. Okay, so we've unplugged the speed thing, speed control, as well as the stepper drivers. Same thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna unplug everything. Yeah, I'm gonna plug everything except for power in, because if it is anything that's causing it, then PF. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. I know this is definitely not what I was very excited to run my first cut today. This is certainly not how I had envisioned things going, but hey, it's still Wednesday. We're still all hanging out. A belly full of French toast helps. Yeah, exactly. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, I appreciate the support and kind words from everybody. We'll figure it out. We'll get it. I mean, if it seems like it probably needs a different board, but let's see. All right, so this is every single thing is unplugged now, rather other than the 24 volts in. So yeah, it's still the same thing. So I started streaming because my biggest roadblock is not wanting to build things alone. Yeah, thank you for all the support, everybody. It's the buck converter. Yeah. I had a guy kill 3 octopus boards. First tried it before reaching out, and he was shorting 24 volts to 5 volts with a bad step. Oh, man. Yeah, so let me, I'm just gonna message, I'm gonna message Jason right now just to get the ball rolling on this. We'll have to, I don't know how, like, it'll be a bit until we're able to return to this. Like, I think what'll likely end up happening is I'll have to get
the issues before I get there with my build.
I couldn't actually, I think it was from Luke. Let me really quickly here go to Stream Elements. For some reason, it didn't show up. Let me see. Live streamers. Activity. Holy cow! Thank you, Luke, for the $25 tip. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing me the issues before I get there with my build. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I'll likely end up putting that towards something for Milo, like the probe or whatnot. Hopefully yours is smooth sailing. Hopefully I've taken the initial startup issues, but yeah, I'm gonna shoot a message to Jason just letting him know, that way if they're gonna get one shipped out, they could. But yeah, what'll likely end up happening is I'll swap it out myself and then run through the startups, and then maybe we'll just have a mill and chill stream in the future, where we just kind of hang out and I go through things. You know what? Actually, I know what we're gonna do. So hold on, let me go like this. Me and Alan Mandic Labs, we are going to be doing another Milo stream. And so that will be the next time we look at Milo. And hopefully by then it's all good and working and stuff. But we're gonna do a final stream on his channel once he's settled into his new house. And so we'll touch base there. Ben says, I've killed 3, oh God. I've killed 3 fly CDYs for every minute, so this last time I was lucky and pulled the 5 volt buck off one of my other boards to repair my last one. Wow. Are they not great boards, or is it just, were they silly mistakes that shorted it? Maybe we're checking the continuity of the tool setter wire from both ends, as that was the one not playing before plugging in a new board. Yeah, I agree. That's a great idea. I might even, yeah, no, that's a fantastic idea. I appreciate, yeah, thank you, Ben, you clearly have lots of knowledge with this board. So I had no idea what the LEDs were representing, or that they're, just very helpful. Hey, Alec, hello from Scotland. Thank you for tuning in. So we'll still do, here, let me open up, let's do the giveaway. I still want to do that. Today's gonna be a short stream. It didn't go how it was supposed to, and I'll probably just end up, I I don't know, maybe starting some editing or something. So let me pin, there's a form in chat. We're gonna leave this open for, we'll do 20 minutes today, and then we'll do our giveaway drawing pin message. Zombie, thank you for the banana, $1.49. I heard people say Mellow boards are very hit or miss. My only experience is the VZ-Bot. Yeah, I have not had incredible experience with Mellow boards, but I have had a lot. I've had a smaller experience with them. Like VZ-Bot was the one, which I don't think I actually had issues with. I know on Steve's had issues when we were building them together, so that was one of two. This one, I don't really know what the heck the deal is. And then I've got one that's been rock solid, which was the Mellow, the Fly Gemini. The Fly Gemini, that's what's in my V0.2. That's been great. That's been a really solid one. The QC on the boards and the quality of the components is all over the place. Yeah. Okay, let me really quickly, just before I forget, message Jason just to let him know, hey, board seems like it's dead. Jason. Final stream for Milo, but after doing some troubleshooting, it appears that 3 volt and 5 volts on the controller is not outputting. We have narrowed it down to a dead IC buck converter. Cool. I just let them know that, you know, we're streaming. It's supposed to be the final stream. It seems like the 3 volt and 5 volt on the controller is not outputting. We narrowed it down to what we believe is a dead buck converter. And yeah, if we can get a replacement board sent out, and it seems like it stemmed from potentially the Long John tool. So if we can get a different PCB for that, that'd be great. Let's see. First, I tried unplugging the USB-C without removing it from the bay. Oh God, it powered off my port. Second one was DOA. Third was great for a while, and I had a short on my tool setter from coolant. Wow. Speaking of Mellow boards, what's up with that E3 board you have? It's still in the closet, man. It's still in the closet. Hi all, I've been here since the start listening in. They expected me to do work today. Hey Rob, work has got in the way of hobbies again. Yeah, it happens, but we'll be here. We'll be here. As far as, I guess, some plans, so next week we're going to be returning to the Positron Journey Maker build. I finally got a chance last night to just quickly revise the input for the external power supply we'll be using, so I'm going to get that printed out probably today or tomorrow. And then I got MMU3 in, so we definitely are going to be building that. I got word that an LDO positron kit's coming in, so we're going to be building that. And then I'm working on a couple other builds as well in the background, along with a couple of just random unboxing and chill streams. So there's definitely some fun stuff coming up that we're gonna be doing here. I had 3 flies and they all had different buck converters, but same V2 screen, print on the board, and all bought from theoretically the same batch. To this day, one is flaky. Jeez. It's official, I'm only 6 screws away from finishing the build on my V0. That is amazing. That is amazing. Before you power it on, just take a step back, grab a tasty beverage, and just look it over, and then flip it on. So yeah, we'll do, giveaway link is open in chat. It's pinned in chat for a spool of Polymaker filament. We'll end up doing a giveaway for that in, I think I said 15 minutes approximately, and then we'll call it. It'll be a quick stream today. We've had some longer we've had some longer streams, and so this will let me do a little bit of other work and get some editing going for this weekend's video. Jason already responded. Cool. Yeah, Jason is the man. Did he send a new one already? It's already here. It's already delivered. Yeah, Jason's awesome. I've had a few people in the community reach out to me that have bought LDO kits or LDO products that have had issues, sometimes self-inflicted issues, and seeing just sort of the above and beyond that Jason has done for them is really freaking cool. So the kits definitely might be at a bit of a premium compared to some other ones out there, but you get the before and after support of knowing that they stand behind their kits and that if something goes wrong, they'll make it right. I'm still waiting on the shipping notification on my LDO positron. Oh my god, your VCore 4 is arriving today? That's incredible. I've had the Fabrico VCore 4 in the garage for a bit, but it's not the final retail unit. It doesn't have a beacon on it, and one of the issues I've had is actually I don't know for sure, but the magnets on the front, like the door on the VCore 4 that I got in, which was the pre-built from Murph Rocky Mountain Rep Fest, the front door comes off with handles. It's not a door, which I don't love that because it's a big piece of acrylic and I see myself dropping it. I definitely think that if that's the default, then there's going to be mods for hinges because it just seems like hinges would be a better option. It might not be the default. I don't know. It's just the way this one is. But some of the magnets are not staying in their pockets, which I don't know if that's from like it getting shipping over here that they kind of popped out or what, but I need to get printing on that thing. It's just the combination of the front door and just being busy with other things, I haven't been able to put much time on it. My LDO positron should be on its way. Got all the parts printed. What filament did you go with? Hey RH! Riot Shield. VCore 3 and VCore 4 are the same front mounting. Interesting. It is like a Riot Shield. I wonder why they decided to go that route. Like, it's just having to take it off and set it feels like acrylic is strong, but it feels like a really good way to potentially chip a corner or cut a crack in it because of just the weight of it. It's interesting. Wood panel positron. I'm printing my positron parts in 3DO ASA, carbon fiber blue. Nice. Is there? I haven't looked at the LDO positron or the 3.2 like build instructions. Does it have primary and accent parts, or is it just primary and then you decided which ones you want as accent? You can place it on top of the machine. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess you could place it on top of the machine. I don't know why I didn't do that. Ambrosia, Midnight Meteorite, and Planetary Blue. Nice. That's the default for the top and front panel. Huh, interesting. I've no experience with VCore prior to this, so I've got the V Minion, which is it's like the baby, I feel like it's like the pet project or baby brother of the lineup, which it's still a beast, but the VCore ecosystem is completely new to me. If you do it in polycarbonate, the Riot Shield is stable enough. Accent might be very dominant. The V0 2 will be in 3DO colors. Positron will be KVP ABS, British Racing Green, nice, and Polymaker ABS Neon Orange. That'll be fun. I might need to do some crazy colors on this Positron build. The Journeymaker one I'm doing is very like mild. It's just gray glass ABS, which looks great, I think. But maybe for this one, I'll do some more pop, some more fun. Need to decide between 400 and 500. I'm supposed to be building a V-Core 4 at some point, which would be a 300 millimeter. I couldn't go bigger. It's just too freaking big. It's too monstrous. I'm waiting until I move out. You mean to your new studio, or what do you mean move out? Cookie CAD Positron would be freaking sweet. I've been wanting to try their filament for quite a long time. Maybe that's what I'll do. It's way less than 1 kilogram of filament, right? I think I remember Nero and Steve showing off that it was like a fraction of a kilogram needed to print out the positron parts, because it's a lot of machine parts. All right, 9 more minutes, and then we'll do the Polymaker filament drawing. Nice. If you haven't hit the like button, smack the like button. like for troubleshooting attempts. It looks like we got 45 likes. Let's see if we can get, I believe we can get to 75 likes. Let's get 75 likes. Cookie Cat's ABS colors are super cool. We need more ABS fun colors. Yeah. Hey, Ajax, also, by the way, hi. I haven't fired up my positron yet, so I'm doing the right thing and modding it, and perfect. The V-Core 4 is coming in 6 boxes. Holy crap. 300 size with hybrid motors and panels. DHL taking 3 days. That's incredible. DHL for international shipping. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, not a lot of filament needed. DHL in general is probably my favorite shipper for all things international. They are just crazy fast, and knock on wood, I don't think I've had much that's arrived damaged from DHL. They really handle it. I already liked twice. That counters it. 38 likes. It shows 55 likes on my end. It might need to be refreshed. Sometimes it doesn't update on its own. Man, I am sad. I was really jazzed about even just running a simple cut on this. I mean, Steve and me hopped on a call. Steve was awesome, and I think it was on Saturday maybe. Steve hopped on a call with me to run through some Fusion stuff. We got the tool library installed, we got the machine profile installed. Like, I was ready. This morning I went up, grabbed a piece of wood from the garage, brought out my miter saw, and cut some wood to size. Like, I was ready for this. But we'll get there. I mean, it's been 2 months in the works, right? Or 2 months in the making. So it takes another couple of weeks to do the final things, but I'll end up getting it moved out to the garage, I think, is likely what's going to happen, and then I'll bring it back up. I'll either bring it back up or I'll stream from the garage when I do the stream with Alan on the final one. My VZBot shipped DHL and took 3 days from China to my door. Yeah, it's nuts. Like, the fastest shipping I've ever had from international is always DHL, and it blows my mind. I'm like, dude, I've had USPS like take a week and a half and send a parcel around the country twice, and DHL like how? Like, they must have figured out like teleportation. It's the only thing that makes sense. Much excite, very let down. Yeah. Takes a fraction of a second to let out the magic smoke. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. But at least we know Spindle's good. Spindle wiring's good. And I've got to figure out, it seemed like it had detected one of the limit switches seemed to be configured incorrectly. But I'm optimistic. If we swap out the controller and we and I get the new Long John PCB, that will be good to go. DHL import fees hurt though. Just had whew, that's rough. DHL pays its drivers bonuses. Oh, do they really? That's one way to do it. Having a dead board is a bummer, but I trust Jason to have a new one. Yeah, oh yeah. I do as well. Jason will make it right. Jason will definitely take care of it. I'm doing safety yellow and burnt titanium on my current positron. Nice. That's not... Who... Safety yellow, I want to say, is Polymaker, I think, but I don't know what burnt titanium is. Okay, 4 more minutes and then we'll do the giveaway. So if you have not filled out the form, let's see, we've got 57 entries and 87 to 90 people in chat. So fill it out. It's anywhere in the world. How much more do you have to build with Milo? Milo's done. No, yeah, Milo is done. Today I don't think you caught it, but today all we were doing was powering it on and then like configuring it and then running an engrave. Like it's done. The 3-volt and 5-volt rail seem dead, which we believe is due to a failed or killed or bad buck converter internally in the board. So yeah, all that's like when the new board comes in, I'll just swap everything, which will be super quick because all of the cables are routed nicely where they need to go. So 2 screws, pop the new one in, and then the tool setter seems like that's where the problem stemmed from. It was not working initially, and then as we tried troubleshooting it more, there was magic smoke. I didn't see any magic smoke or smell any magic smoke, but it seems like either we killed or something was, I don't know. So it's possible, but this PCB is going to be replaced. So we'll get this set up, and then yeah, it's basically just configuring it. So first time checks. We turned on the spindle. Spindle worked fine. It went up to 24,000 RPMs. So it's really just confirming limit switch orientation, homing, and I mean, that's really it. As long as motors are working, limit switches are triggering, then we're basically good to go. Are you going to CNC a swatch truck? Maybe for you. Maybe for you. Just I'll deliver it in person at some point. But yeah, the machine looks beastly. It looks really, really good. I'm very happy with how the mechanical assembly and all the printed parts and stuff came together. We just got to get it working. All right, 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna unpin the giveaway link from chat, and we'll do the drawing. I also, RH, since you're here, I messaged you back the other day. I don't know if you saw it. No rush if you did see it. I just want to make sure you got it. I finally had a moment to sit down and just go through Discord messages and emails and Twitter DMs, and was very proud. Very proud of myself. Okay, so I'm going to unpin the link, and then I will give everyone another minute that's still filling it out to wrap that up. So we will remove message, unpin message. Hey, LSE! We're gonna call it pretty soon. We need a replacement board for this, so you're gonna be a little bit shorter of a stream today. Still 2 hours, so not super short, but compared to we've been putting in like 4 hours every single week. So what's the weirdest sponsor offer you've ever gotten I haven't gotten, so I've gotten a lot. I get emails daily for like review requests, right? And a lot of times it's applicable, but a lot of times it's really random. I've gotten a lot of robo vacuums. I've gotten just all sort like car stereo stuff, like really bizarre stuff. And then I get a lot of, every single day I get at least 2 like fraudulent sponsor requests, usually from a .cz or a some like they're always from the same kind of ending domain, and those are all sorts of things. And I've had some legit companies reach out. Like I had one that wanted to make like plushies, like, which honestly I would love a little Modbot robot plushie, but I never responded to them, and I'm like, I don't know, man, like I gotta work on some more designs for graphics and t-shirts and stuff before I do a plushie. But I do love the idea of the little Modbot robot and a plushie. Like I would be a fan of that. But yeah, not a whole lot of weird ones. The biggest one that I haven't responded to that I've gotten a couple times over the last few years is Raid Shadow Legends. But I mean, I wouldn't be against doing it, especially for the memes of it all. But I have never responded to the email inquiries for Raid Shadow Legends. My rule, if it's a sponsor, like if it's a paid sponsorship, which I've hardly ever done paid sponsored videos. Usually it's just like you guys see the 30 seconds or 60 seconds at the beginning of the video. I'm pretty damn strict on that. There's a few that I've worked with for a long time, but overall I'm pretty strict with that. And I have a rule that like anything that's actually sponsored, I have to trial out the product, make sure I legitimately like it before I agree to it. So that probably turns a few companies away, but it's like a company reaches out. I'm like, if I've never used your product or your service, how can I like in good faith put my name behind it and say, yeah, check this out? So like NordPass was one of them, which is NordVPN. NordPass is their password manager. So they gave me a trial of that, I think for like 60 days before I agreed to do the sponsored deal. And then I've paid for it after like I think they gave me a year of membership with it, and I've paid for it now. Like I love it. I love the password manager. So yeah, I'm pretty strict about that. Liz, thank you for 17 months. Happy Wednesday. That is all. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Zombie, thank you for the gift of membership. Nick, you got the membership. Very familiar name. Do the sponsors ask you to do things subtly, or do they want to randomize push it through? Wait, what? Do the sponsors ask you to do things subtly, or do they want you to randomize push it through streams? I don't exactly know what that means, GPs. I leave the stream for an hour and a half, and this is what happens. Yeah, things got wild. I just had an hour-long call with EOS team and their issue with their platform, why we can't work through them anymore. Uh-oh. I already imagined the title. I installed the car sound system in my Voron. I saw and read that. Thanks. I will reply soon. Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. No. Push it through streams. Do sponsors ask you to do things subtly? I still don't fully understand what the question is. Usually a sponsor. Man, it's super complicated. I want to do the giveaway drawing for everybody, so we'll do like one or two more minutes of ranting here. So there's a bunch of things that happen. Like a lot of companies, not a lot of companies, a fraction of companies will reach out wanting a product review, and then they'll ask what my price is. And I've never, if it's a product review, I will never accept straight up like funds for it, because it's kind of, there is affiliate sales if someone purchases typically, right? Like usually it's a fraction. It's, I mean, anywhere from 2% to 5% depending on the platform and company. But generally speaking, that's it. So there's a handful that will say, hey, like, what's your pricing for the review? And I'm like, I'm not going to charge upfront money for the review. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I treat all reviews the exact same way. So the only thing I've done is, I'm going to be doing one for MicroSwiss soon, is like a full install video, which is not a review. It's literally a step-by-step technical install video. But usually the only way I've been able to do sponsored things are like that 60-second segment where it's completely independent from the video. Although I am doing one with PCBWay on that hot end extruder that I showed a couple weeks ago, the SLM printed one. So it's interesting. Because I work full time and YouTube's always been just like a really fun hobby, I don't do like outbound stuff. It's just too much. So I'm probably not doing as good of a job with the sponsor side of things as I should be. I just don't have the time, and it's like if things organically work out, then that's awesome, and it helps the channel and helps fund projects and stuff. But other than that, like I make the videos. That's the key thing. I make the videos, you know. Hey, I still have their free membership message. Woohoo! 1 year of membership. Hey, 12 months. Thank you. I got one of these messages laying around too. 23 months. Thank you, Thomas. Like the stream you sacrificed a board to entertain you. I appreciate it. Honestly, I think you should reach out to Mr. Cool. Seems like a lot of YouTubers. Yeah, you had mentioned that. It's not a bad. As new sponsors want you to push their products aggressively in streaming vids or so. Oh, no. Like it's not aggressively. I wouldn't, if a company's ever aggressive, I would never even entertain the conversation. It always has to be like real casual. I don't make crazy promises on deadlines. Usually it's like a 60-day window. It's not real aggressive. Thank you everybody. I appreciate it. I know I'm ranting. The air horn and cheers all around the house. Okay, let's do this. So let me see. We've got 65 responses. So let's do this. Thanks for the reply. Interested in how things work. Yeah, absolutely. And that's how things work for me. I don't know, like, I do talk to some other YouTubers, but like a lot of the sort of businessy side of things have always been kind of a mystery to me. I know some YouTubers will work with like brand coordinators where they will go out and secure brand deals on behalf of the creator. And as part of that, like, I don't know if they get a percentage or a flat fee per deal. I don't know how it all works exactly. I would actually very much so like that. I got into this to make videos and share things. I don't enjoy the businessy side of things, but it's sort of a necessary aspect of it as, you know, as an adult. But I would not be against sort of like alleviating some of that onto someone else so I can more so just focus on what I enjoy, which is the, you know, the building and learning and teaching and all that stuff. So yeah. Okay, let's do this. So we got 65 entries, which is very cool. And we are going to go to the wheel of names. That didn't work. Why are we frozen? There we go. All right. Here we go. Wheel of names. The only aggressive sponsor is the Banana Slinger. Yeah. When can we finally get a printed pegboard set up on your wall? Printed peg. I love this. I love the. Oh wait, you can't see. I turned off my cam earlier because I wanted you guys to be able to see. There I am. Hi. I love the Scatus. I'm very into the Scatus pegboard system, so I don't think I'll be swapping that for a printed one. If I didn't like this so much, I would absolutely do that. But I'm just a big fan. I like the color of it. I like I've got already quite a lot of hooks and containers for it and such. When do the fish come? I don't know, Lisa. I don't know. The backyard project that we had done was a really big project, and so I cannot spend money on fish right now as much as I would love to. Anyways, let's do this. So thank you to Polymaker for allowing us to do these weekly giveaways. If you are new here, it's your first time, this is a global giveaway for a spool of Polymaker filament. US and Canada, you'll end up getting a gift card so you can use towards a spool of your choice, or discounted off of a spool if you want to go with something like a carbon fiber blend or something more I don't know, adventurous. And then everybody else in the world will get a list they can choose from, which is a bunch of like PETGs, ABSs, ASAs, and PLAs. What else do I got? Yeah, if you want to support the channel, another way you can do so is if you have to pick up some filament and you get some Polymaker filament, there's a link in the stream description, which does help the channel, and it's appreciated. It lets Polymaker know we're sending some people their way, and they make really awesome freaking stuff. So I think that's what I got. Okay, let's do this. How many times are we spinning? You know what? we're gonna spin 5 times for 5 volts. We're gonna shuffle. We'll shuffle 5 times for 5 volts today. I think that makes sense. What about a SCADAS board for the side of a Voron? I know somebody made a SCADAS, or maybe it was just a regular pegboard for the side of the P1P. Yeah, we're gonna do 5 shuffles. There was no magic smoke, at least nothing visual. I didn't smell anything either. Yeah, SCADAS boards are rad, Hobo. I am a big fan. Here we go. All right, 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volts. Here we go. As you didn't get 5, should be 12. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Pat Pierce, you are our winner for the week. Congratulations, Pat. You are the winner. The Milo did not win today, but you did. So congratulations. I will. I felt really bad. Last week's winner, I was like getting set up for the stream yesterday, and it was clearing out the previous entries and was like, wait a minute. I never responded. But in my defense, last week was 4th of July, and we threw like a block party thing, so I was helping with that. That's what helped me feel better about dropping the ball. But I will reach out to you within the next 24 hours and get you an email, and then yeah, you'll fill out the form, and Polymaker will take care of the rest. So congratulations to Pat. I lost. One of these days, Deanna, you'll win, and you won't believe it. It'll happen. With 60, I think there was 65 entries today. The odds are good. Like, eventually, it's got to happen. So I think that's it. I think we'll call it there. I could rant for hours, but yeah, I think we'll call it there. I will have the Journey Maker positron ready by next week, and as the streams progress over the next couple weeks, I will update you all on the status of Milo. So whenever the new board comes in, as soon as that new board comes in, I want to get it swapped out, because 2 months of working on this and me being very generally impatient. Generally, I've gotten better because streams take time, and so I'm like, okay, can't get it done right away. But I want this thing, I want to see this thing create some chips, even if it is just, in some wood to start off with. So don't forget to stop by tonight. That's right. I will definitely try to check out your stream. I think you said 7 p.m. Eastern time, so 5 p.m. my time. I'm out, so I've got 3.5 hours, give or take. So I ever thought of doing a pair of edamame. I did do a pair of edamames on stream, actually. Yeah. I was just talking to, actually, edamame like 24 hours ago. I got really bad migraines that were stemming from like right here. And I was trying to figure out what the heck was causing them, because I never really had them before. And as part of that, I thought maybe it was, I'm like pretty sensitive. I remember as a kid, like if a hat was kind of too tight, I'd get headaches and stuff like that. So I thought maybe it was the headphones. So I'd used the same HyperX clouds for like maybe not 7 years. Yeah, maybe 7 years. I mean, they were very deteriorated. And so I got the edamame ones. I loved them, but noticed I was getting headaches. And so I ended up giving them to my dad. He has both the smaller and the larger ones, and he loves them. And I don't think that was it, because I still get the headaches. So I think it's I use dual stack monitors, and I got a FlexiSpot desk that I love, but I chose a small one because we didn't have a lot of space in the previous rental. And so I'm very close to those monitors, and I work on a computer, light burn 8 hours, and then YouTube, however many hours I can squeeze in. And so I think it's me having horrible posture, not having enough depth between me and my screens, and having stacked monitors that like all day long, I'm not a velociraptor. I don't type like this, but like typing and then having my neck just like this. I think it's just the compression of like the, this area that's been causing like and stemming into migraine. So anyways, you didn't ask about that, but I don't have the headphones anymore, I guess is what I was getting at. But I do love the headphones. I think the project is awesome, and it's a very cool and fun build, and I think a great use of 3D printing. I've broken headphones by sitting on them before, so being able to, hopefully you don't do that, but if you do break them or decide you want to swap things out, I love the repairability and modability and customizability of them. They're just super cool. So My edamames are my daily headphones at the desk. Yeah, they're kick butt. They're really cool. Hey Dom, all my kids up here. Yeah, they're awesome. Chiropractors are miracle workers. Yeah, I've never been. I need to go. I'm finally going to a doctor next Thursday. It took forever. Insurance stuff changed here. Our insurance changed, and so I've been trying to get a primary care doctor for like 6 months, I want to say. But yeah, I haven't seen a doctor since the previous doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic. So I've got to get blood work done and all sorts of things. And um, I was in 2 really bad car crashes when I was younger. And anyone that's watched this channel for a while knows I've had to cancel at least one stream, if not 2, due to my back locking up. It usually happens since having a kid a bit more because I'm lifting a lot more and printers are getting bigger, but like my back will lock up a couple times a year where it like stems from the spine and it goes all the way to my lower rib cage, like knocks the wind out of me, and like I can't do anything sometimes for a couple days. And so I've never actually gotten my back looked at. I just dealt with it, and it's been the last one that was awful was first day of summer in junior year, and I'm now 31, almost 32. So we're talking like 15-ish years. So I'm finally going to see if I can get some x-rays done to see what the actual damage is. But yeah, I just need to take better care of myself and not be nuts. So yeah. Super easy fix. Tablespoon of baking soda. A few days, you'll get rid of all those issues. Huh. Next week is positron. Yes. Next week is positron with safer power mod. I actually think I can show you really quickly. Let's look at this. You got everyone here still. Let's take a look if I've got Shaper. Also put on some boss music. We should have put the boss music on when we were troubleshooting the board. There we go. Open now. Yeah, so I think I showed it previously, but I ended up going with... So here's the... I should just bring the camera back around the side. We don't need to look at this anymore. Maybe join Grant and box some things on 3D Mysterious. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Thomas. Yeah, if Grant's streaming, I don't think I'm subbed him on here, so I don't know that I can raid him, but that would have been fun. So yeah, this is what the internal power supply looked like, and I didn't like that it was open form factor, and just the way it mounts on the frame and the AC inlet is not grounded. I just did not like this at all. So we're ditching this, and I'm reprinting out this piece here. So I think I can show you really quickly. Let's see. It's nothing very exciting. Incompatible project. Why? This is creating. Ah, gosh, I have to update Shaper. Let me try to update it really quick. Update. I'm trying to see if I can figure out where the heck I put the... Maybe they're still downstairs? But anyway, I went with a DC... We're gonna use a DC power supply instead, so it'll be external, I guess. So it's a 24 volt 10 amp power supply that I found. I think this was on Amazon. Somebody in chat, somebody in the Discord channel put this over. I guess we'll just have to find our own way over. Yeah, if you need a map, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, cool. That seemed like it worked. Skip tour. Where did you source that? It was on Amazon. It was on Amazon. I can post the link. So that's weird. Huh. So I modeled it on my iPad. It looks like it didn't translate or save correctly, so I'm gonna have to go back to my iPad. But basically, the only change I made was, you can see the sketch, I suppose, but I removed the outlet that was here, and in its place put just a round opening that's two sizes. There's a little bit, I think it's a 2mm lip for the barrel jack connector, like the top to slot into, and then it just goes, it goes through this wall. So I just need to reprint out that piece, and then we should be good to go. Everything else should be the same. We'll have a big open cavity here, which I was trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Initially, I was thinking like maybe a built-in screen or something like that in the bottom panel, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to do that when you've got the rails crossing over it. You won't be able to access it, so we're just gonna leave this cavity open, and I'll just run the wires from here, the 24-volt wires from there to the SKR Pico on the other side. So, but yeah, we'll continue on that next week. I'm looking forward to making some progress on it because we started it and stopped it. Send me over a link here to see if it's compatible with the LDO one. External PSUs have some additional safety features over internal ones. Yeah, sounds great. I will do that. My V0 is complete. Nice. Silver frame with all purple printed parts. Looks amazing. It doesn't work, at least I'll make a cool ornament. If you haven't posted it in the Modbot Discord, tag me in it at some point. I'd love to see a photo of it. Iconic. Today didn't go according to plan. We need to replace the controller in Milo, but honestly, I still had a fun time. It was still fun hanging out. I got to rant a little bit, and yeah, it's always fun. I really enjoy Wednesday streams, just kind of chit-chatting. And I mean, honestly, like it's usually not the destination, right? It's the journey. So just another two steps forward, you know, step and a half back. We'll get there. We'll get to the finish line. So, okay. I am going to call it on that. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining me on today's journey. Next week, we will be streaming at the same time, at the same place, and we'll be jumping back to the Positron Journey Maker, and I'll update everybody on this. So, cheers. Thank you to existing members, new members, gifted subs, the donations that came in today, and congratulations to our winner. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will catch you all next time, all right? Bye, everybody. Cheers.